Welcome to the Fabricated Metals Podcast, powered by Progress Metal Innovators, your trusted partner in smart, scalable fabrication. I'm your host, Dana Hansen, and in every episode, we explore the trends, tools, and technologies shaping the future of manufacturing. Whether it's sourcing smarter, improving lead times, or streamlining production, we share real-world insights to help you stay ahead in an ever-evolving industry. Let's get into it.
Okay, welcome to the podcast. I am Dana Hansen, the Sales and Marketing Manager here at PMI, and with me I have...
This is Chris Conard, the President of PMI.
Yeah, and we've worked together for a very long time.
Over 20 years.
Yes, it's pretty exciting. So maybe, Chris, can you explain a little bit about PMI, how we got to where we are today and where we started?
Sure. So the history of PMI is, I find, quite interesting. We started in a company across town in their basement, producing a single part for the appliance industry and exactly for Electrolux in St. Cloud, Minnesota. With the good fortune of making that part, they liked what we were doing, our ideas, our innovation, and they asked us to start stamping more. So at that point in time, the company that was doing the work decided to create PMI and put us in a new building. So they took 4 employees, they put in a slitting line, 1 stamping line that we actually bought from the customer, and started stamping a couple more parts. So in about 5 years, that grew to doing about $8 million with a single customer, adding more stamping presses, doing the coil processing, which is where we really started for PMI, and providing that value for a single customer. We added on a few more because we knew we couldn't survive on one customer alone, and we grew into different industries like HVAC. We started making stamped door skins for Midwest Manufacturing or Menards, and we started doing various other products in different markets. And sooner or later, we noticed that we were basically a tool and die shop doing stamping, but we didn't have any short run capabilities. And many of our customers were asking us, hey, would you guys be interested in getting a laser, maybe doing some bendings and welding? And we said, well, I don't know. We've never done those things before. So,
and we didn't have the space.
We didn't even have the space.
No.
Exactly. So in 2010, we decided to move forward. We bought our first laser, added on to the building a couple times, added on about 30,000 square feet, and started doing soft tool fabrication, meaning bringing in sheets of material or cutting our own, using lasers to cut. We bought a punching machine to do some punching so we could do 3D shapes. We added bending, press brake work, and welding, and now assembly. So that brought us to about 2020, and we continued to expand in the short run fabrication side. At that time, our customers started asking us about this strange thing called machining.
Yep.
And so we added a machining center and learned how to do that. And today that's growing quite rapidly for us as well. Mm-hmm. And now finally here in 2025, we capped it all off with the addition of our new state-of-the-art powder coating line. And so we're real excited to be able to take everything from cradle to grave, do the fabrication, whether it's from sheets or even coils of material that we process ourselves, all the way to a powder-coated finished product.
So at PMI, when we started, we had a slitting line, we had a cut length line, and we had a stamping press. We were able to solve that whole circle of a one-stop shop with that operation. We're bringing the material in directly from the mill, slitting it down or blanking it, stamping it, out the door it would go. As we evolved over the years, we found that that wasn't the only capability that we needed to help all of our customers. So we've in turn added on a whole fabrication building. We've added on so many more presses, small 75 ton all the way up to 2,000 tons, so small to large parts. With the fabrication, we added on welding, bending, machining. Just as our customers came to us with more and more areas that they needed help with, we just kept adding them on, as well as now adding on a full automated powder coat line. So we're really capturing everything that our customers seem to be missing in their supply chain currently, with everything being right here.
Yeah, Dana, you're exactly right. Throughout time, we heard from many of our customers, one thing that was tough on them was the fact that they had to go to multiple different companies or sources to satisfy their supply chain. And we listened to that, and we were able to add different things that we could do here for them that they usually found in different suppliers. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we were coil processing, that we could do stamping in-house, that we added then soft tool fabrication, laser cutting, welding, bending, and now finally powder coating, that's taking 3 or 4 suppliers and combining them under a single roof. And that's been a huge benefit to many of our customers.
So being the sales manager here at PMI, I've worked with many of our new accounts that have come in the door. And a lot of times when I'm sitting in front of them at the table, they don't always know that they need PMI. they're busy, they have their regular supply chain, they're doing their thing, they're bringing in their parts, everything's going great until we start to bring out all of the wonderful capabilities that we have to offer all in one location. It's kind of like a light bulb goes on and they say, oh, wow, I could really reduce a lot of stress in my day with having to manage so many different suppliers and put them all into just one.
Many times that can boil down to cost as well. And
Mhm.
Dana knows this because she's had these very good successes with many of our customers. If you're dealing with multiple suppliers, you're probably carrying more inventory than you want to.
Mhm.
If you can handle it all under one house, imagine that we're handling your inventory until it's finished, painted, ready to be shipped to your operation for assembly, versus you holding on to a raw product, waiting to have it sent out to a different painter, or other possibilities such as that. We can even handle the machining of products. So that overall will reduce on hand inventory and save dollars immediately.
Yes. The industries that we serve is there is a large variety. We do a ton with power generation. We do a lot with military, with the ag industry, with the heavy truck and trailer. We do lighting. We do home building products. We've done furniture.
It's a
There's so
wide range.
there's so many. Where do you stop? Yeah.
We're
We do
very fortunate.
Yes, and we do all different types of materials. We can run pre-paint materials. We can do aluminum, stainless, galvanneal, galvanized. I mean, you name it, we can do it all.
Yep.
Typical customer coming into PMI, what that looks like. It is someone that is looking for really a turnkey solution to all their problems, looking for really low volume to high volume. We can do very low volume in our fabrication area, as small as a 10-part order to multi-million parts of stamping. So there's a part that's a very low volume. You also have very high volume. You have machining parts that you need. You have painting parts that you need. I mean, we really can capture all of that. So we're looking for somebody who is looking to bring parts in, finished, possibly even assembled, maybe welded up together that they can bring into their line, maybe do their finishing touches to it and ship it out the door.
Dana, I think that's a great point. We have many case histories in the company where we've started with a company that was just at the beginning of a product life cycle, and they might be building 40 of something each week. So that's perfect for our fabrication department. But as that life cycle grows and they get more and more volume, we have the opportunity to take that fabricated part to a fully stamped part, which reduces cost, allows you to produce much quicker, which opens capacity and the volume needed for large scale programs. And companies have grown with us with that capability that we can provide for them.
Yep. I think our typical customer doesn't know that they have problems because their day is so full and so busy. I mean, a lot of the people that we work with, their days are just they're just busy managing everything that they have to manage. And until we get in front of them and really talk through solutions that we have to offer, returnable packaging programs, vendor managed inventory solutions, our own trucks for delivery, being able to take from the start of the coil to the finish of the product being painted all in one spot, I think that is where their eyes really open and they say, oh, wow, I really think PMI can help me.
I think it's human nature to be comfortable with
Mhm.
something that you've been doing for a long time. And that
Mhm.
that is as normal as it gets.
Mhm.
But we have found when people come to us and we show them a few different things we're doing for other customers, just as Dana said, their eyes are open to a new way of doing business. And that's helping quite a bit for many, many of our
Mhm.
customers.
We also are finding with our customers, they're challenged with people. They're having trouble trying to find people to work on their lines to manufacture their products. So they're trying to outsource actually more than they ever did before. Some of them are actually having issues with floor space. So some of them might be stamping today or might have a laser that they're running and they say, man, if I could take this out off of my floor, send that work to PMI, I can then actually assemble more parts on my floor. So we've had a lot of those scenarios that have happened over the years as well.
Even the buyers themselves, we hear so many stories that when they started with their company, there was 10 of them.
Yeah.
And today there's two.
Yeah.
And that's just too much for them to handle.
Mhm.
So it's nice when you can find a supplier that can take on the work that maybe 5 to 10 suppliers did for you previously. It just saves you time.
Mhm. Most of our customers are in the United States. That's where we ship most of our product to, but we also have shipped overseas as well.
Yep, the high majority of customers tend to be in Wisconsin. We're a Wisconsin-born company, and we certainly like to support manufacturing on our state. But as Dana said, we've helped companies when they've moved locations down to Mexico. We've helped companies when they did some work in China, and we started shipping stamp parts there until they had that fully functional themselves. But in today's climate, where you see many companies looking for maybe a domestic insurance policy for manufacturing, we're seeing a lot of those folks come back, and Midwest manufacturing is certainly where it's at.
Chris, that's a really good point about our customer base. a lot of them have put all their eggs in one basket. I'm sure anyone listening has heard this from your own people in your company saying we have to diversify our supply base because we are located all in one. And if something would happen with weather, something wipes them out. We've had a lot of, tragedies with nature around our area with tornadoes taking out plants. And that is really hard for companies if you have all of your supply coming from one place, especially overseas with tariffs. Tariffs have played a part in some of the cost. So a lot of our customers have really looked at reshoring some products, getting another supplier in the door to help so that they're not really putting everything all in one that they have today. And then once they get here, they realize, oh, wow, all the things that PMI has, this is like exactly what I've been looking for.
One of the items that's creeping into every business today is the fact that there's significant labor shortages throughout our country, even in Mexico and China. So what we're seeing is companies are having to outsource products because they literally cannot find the people to do the internal work that they have in the past. The other thing that's so important when looking for a supplier is, are they in an area that is rich in labor supply? There's some areas of our country that are having tougher time finding manufacturing employees than others. We're very fortunate in somewhat of a rural but close to a pretty significant larger city area that we have a wide breadth of people to choose from. So we haven't had the same shortages that some of the folks in our industry have seen. So we're lucky to have that capacity, and I think we'll continue to have that capacity so that we can ensure our customers that we have the right number of people, the right number of machines to take care of the demand that they need.
And as we move along into our podcast too, we're going to go into more about our training center. We have a state-of-the-art training center here. So keep listening in too as we talk more about that, because that is really what is going to help with our future employees too.
Well, we're excited to be starting this podcast because we think there's a lot of things that we've learned over 20 some years that we'd like to share with customers. We'd even like to share it with the folks that live in our small town. And we think through podcasting, we can educate people on all sorts of different areas that they might find useful. For example, in the future, it'd be fun to talk about prints and the things that are on prints that engineers place there that may be costing their companies money that really shouldn't be there. And we can help with that. We'll also have opportunities to take the camera behind the scenes so we can show buyers what it looks like for a laser operation to be underway, or what it means when we talk about setting up bending and tooling dies. All those different things. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're going to go through ways that we can help you save costs just because of the different capabilities that we have, that we can go through different ways of, helping you save every penny you can, because we know that that's very important. And really digging into our training center. It's been so fun to see our training center become it's being used now. The schools are in here, the kids are in here. It's exciting that the young kids, it's just really, really fun to see that growing. And we can't wait to share more on that too.
We're excited for the future because now that we've added the powder coating facility, we're really able to operate as a cradle to grave manufacturer. And that manufacturer is meant to be just another arm of our customers, where we're producing the parts for them at the right time, in the right quantities, ready to go all the way to their assembly line so that they can produce as an efficient manner as possible. And I think we're well positioned to do that now with our new ERP system. Again, all the capacities that we have and capabilities. I think it's going to be a really bright future for our customers and us as well.
Absolutely.
One other thing that we'd like to mention, I think is important to our suppliers, our customers, and our general community is the fact that you can see behind me on the sign. We recently became an employee-owned company in 2021. And I think what that means for all of our employees when they're doing work for our customers, doing work with our suppliers, or even doing volunteer work within the community is they truly care. They're owners of this company. They're taking a first position in everything that takes place, and it means a lot to them and it means a lot to us. That carries through with the work that we do in our community because it's a lot of fun. Dana had mentioned earlier the work that we've done with our high school and creating its first metal fabrication class in our state-of-the-art training center. But we do all sorts of volunteer activities like cleaning up the highways. We do work at the fairs. We do work in the community to help people with homes and the upkeep of our general area. So all sorts of things that we've done that make this a really, really wonderful and special place to live and run a business.
We also really care about our employees too. Working here, I think our employees are treated very well. We have a PMI Cares that I actually am running right now. And We do a lot of different, fundraising things here internally for our company too that we now can use for our employees if they need help with a car repair, with gas, or with a medical bill, or things like that too. So we truly care about helping our community, and we truly care about helping our people here too.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fabricated Metals podcast, brought to you by Progress Metal Innovators. I'm Dana Hansen, and I hope today's conversation gave you new ideas and perspectives for building smarter. Be sure to follow the show and leave us a review if you found this helpful. And don't forget, you can download our free fabrication buyer's guide at pmillc.com/guide for expert tips on supplier selection, lead times, and avoiding common sourcing mistakes. Until next time, keep forging ahead with PMI.